everybody, I'm back with a new video today and I'm going to show you how to wrap this gift box. You're going to need some paper, scissors, glue stick, glue gun, extra glue stick, bone folder, ruler, and a pencil. What we're going to do first is measure our lid. You want the top, width and height, the sides, and the inside. And here's just a little template I made. You're going to put your center down, go around it, and then add the lid on the outside and the inside lid. Those measurements to it. You don't have to use a pre-marked piece of paper, but it worked out easier for me because my paper is patterned on the inside. Alright, I'm just showing you again. Measure everywhere. And the template is pretty easy to figure out. You just need the base or the top, the sides, and then the inside. And here you can see, there you go. Sides, and then I added 1.5 inches for the inside because I didn't have a full inch. Now this is a bone folder. I went through and scored all my lines just to make folding a little bit easier on me because this paper was thin. It's pretty though, I really like this paper, and I'm folding all my lines where eventually I'm going to fold them over the lid. This is basically wrapping a present, but you're wrapping a lid in a bottom. Now we've got it all marked. I'm going to take my glue stick and just put some glue down. You don't have to be perfect. We're just trying to get the lid to stay in place while we're wrapping it. So center it on there, in between your lines or just in the center of a piece of paper. Smooth all the bubbles out, which I didn't do the greatest job at. Now I'm going to use my hot glue and glue the sides up, the short sides, and press them in with my bone folder. There we go, that's on there really good. And then bring up the long sides, glue them, press them in, and while I'm doing this, I'm tugging on the paper to make sure that it's taut across the top where we glued. And it does pull out some of those bubbles. Now that we've got everything up, we're going to take these pointy parts that are sticking out and just fold them in like you would wrapping a present. You can see there I was trying to figure out the best way I wanted to do it, but this ended up working better and it was easier. So we're gluing the tabs down. And when you're doing this, make sure you glue them all in the same direction, like these two on the long end are pointing inwards, so I don't want the other one to point outwards. And yes, I did just burn my finger right there. You might have to fiddle with these to straighten them up, and they might not be perfect even if you did mark. But don't worry about that, it's going to be on the inside. It's not a big deal. Again, just gluing that tab down. And now it's completely attached to all the outside of the lid. And we're just going to get it down on the inside. This does create some bulk, but it's nothing that's going to ruin anything. The box still opens fine. I'm not recommend you do this for every present you have, but if you have something nice that you want to put in a box with a lid, I think this is worth the time and effort you put into it. I have a hard time finding any boxes that match my decor, my wrapping paper really. So this is an alternative if you have a very specific look that you're going for. And these boxes are from the Dollar Tree, and if you've ever been to the Dollar Tree, you know how ugly their boxes always are. They're very traditional Christmas, red and green with Santa, and not really my style. Alright, now I'm going back and just making sure everything is glued down and everything is straight. And that looks pretty good to me. Fits on there. Nice and neat. And here's my second piece of paper. I chose a separate pattern. I'm using the ruler just to hold down the paper because of course it's curled. I use a little bit of hot glue on this one, but I mostly use the glue stick. Now it's flat against the bottom. I'm scoring again. This is a Martha Stewart bone folder. I'm assuming they still make them, but mine is several years old. If you don't have a bone folder, you can use a popsicle stick. You can use a pen without any ink in it. You just want to create a little crease on there. So here I am gluing up the long sides and folding in the short sides. This box had a lot of extra bulk in it, and you could go through and cut some of that out as long as you don't have any raw edges showing when you're done. I could have cut out a lot from this, but I was just trying to get it done really, and it doesn't bother me. So now I'm gluing the short sides down. You don't need a tremendous amount of glue either, just enough to get everything stuck. Alright, that looks good. Now I'm folding these towards the short side together. And this is where the bulk comes in. If you wanted to, you cut out part of that top flap, part of behind the triangle, part of behind the other triangle, and you wouldn't be dealing with so many layers that you have to fold in. It might seem a little silly to be using a glue gun, but I've always used a glue gun to wrap my presents because I hate the look of tape. And I'm making sure everything is straight right here. Looks good. Folding in the short sides first. Now see all those layers? I had to glue those all together. I had to glue one to the other, to the other, to the back. And right here I don't do it, and you can see when I go to fold the sides in that this part is still sticking up. So the sides going in, and the other side going in, pressing it down nice and tight, smoothing it out with the bone folder, and here I am adding the extra glue to make sure everything's smashed down. And that's about it. It's a little excessive, but if you have a special present, it's well worth it. Thanks, guys. Bye.